1 in 4 women in the United States have gotten some type of cosmetic procedure. In Los Angeles, it's closer to 1 in 2. Before, it was a sign of wealth, but now it's just as common as the Netflix subscription. When something becomes too accessible, it's no longer interesting to the rich people. That's why they demand something riskier and more rare. So today, I'll tell you about the plastic surgeries which my rich friends are getting. And we will also talk about how the plastic surgery industry rebranded itself into something like self-empowerment and feminism, instead of showing it for what it is: self-harm. Today, I want to tell you a story about my friend, Maddy. Ever since Maddy was a child, her mom wanted her to be an actress and a model. This story is as old as world. Mom, who didn't make it, and now wants her daughter to chase her dreams. Maddy was a beautiful child. Her childhood was extremely busy because all of the time she was attending beauty pageants. And she was even winning at most of them until she turned 12. And then she stopped growing. All of the girls were 175 and she was just 167. Her mom was getting so frustrated when she was losing a competition after a competition. She was blaming her height. But one day, her mom came home with good news.
You're gonna get taller.
She told her about the magic surgery.
It doesn't hurt that much, don't worry about this. But what they're gonna do is they will make you taller. You're gonna be 172.
Not a dream height, but still not 167. So here's how the surgery works. They pretty much just break your legs, so you get taller. The only problem, the recovery process is almost a year. The surgery happened regardless of the doctor's warning mother that there are potential risks, that Maddy might never walk again.
But the risk was so totally worth it.
1 year later, she was walking again, and she was even attending some of the beauty pageants, but the problem was she fucking lost again. You know why? Because she couldn't even stand straight. Because she didn't walk for so long, now she developed scoliosis. So the doctors told her that she needs a new surgery. Now, a health surgery to fix her spine. Mom said,
It's time for a new surgery.
Maddy was upset, but her mom came to her with a bright idea.
Since you're going to another surgery, why don't we mix 2 surgeries at the same time? We fix your scoliosis and your wide waist.
Her waist was 66 centimeters. Tragic. But we can fix this.
How about we just remove 2 ribs?
A common procedure, which actually a lot of Victoria's Secret models made, allegedly. Another year of recovery, and now Maddy's mom was almost happy. Her daughter was now almost perfect. She was getting a lot of modeling jobs, even some actresses' jobs. Her mom was so happy. The only problem is those ugly brown eyes. So she told her,
If you will do just 1 more surgery, you're gonna become perfect. You need blue eyes.
And they flew to Turkey. Apparently, you can now bleach your eyes. By the way, Maddy was turning 17 now. All of this was happening during her teen years. So she changed her eye color. It wasn't blue, it was something between brown and sometimes gray. So her mom wasn't happy with this. They were fighting because mom kept on convincing Maddy to do 1 more eye surgery, but her eyes were hurting so much, and she finally turned 18. So she left her mom
and never spoke to her again.
3 things played into the empathy of plastic surgery. The first one was the empathy for the veterans. It all started, like it always does, on our channel, with world wars. During World War I and World War II, a lot of soldiers were getting wounded. And this new concept of not just healing the wound, but the person was born. The second was immigrants. A lot of people were coming to the United States and they didn't look Western. Wow, horrible. That's why they were getting different noses in order to fit in the new society. Then the 50s and 60s came along and there was a consumer boom, and the new theory of a beautiful face and symmetry was born. The third reason was the new beauty standards and beauty magazines. This concept of before and after was normalized during that time. People finally started looking at plastic surgeries as self-improvement and self-care. Here comes Korea. You probably heard of the medical tourism. It became so popular. Everybody started to travel into Korea to get the new noses and the new faces and even the new eye color. Because even buying the tickets and traveling was still cheaper than getting it in the United States. But this is usually how they get you hooked. You get one thing done and then you come back for more and more and more. Korean beauty standard is absolutely mind-blowing. And when you're looking at all of the K-pop idols, they're constantly being compared. I heard that there is this beauty standard. If your body is not 8 heads tall, you're not gonna make it to the K-pop group. Even on the government websites, they were saying things like, you have to be beautiful in order to get a job.
If you're pretty, if you look good, company tends to pick you.
People were literally encouraged to get plastic surgeries. And it's one thing when you're just peer pressured from the society, but it's completely different when your beauty, or lack of it, stops you from job opportunities. 1 in 4 Korean mothers suggested plastic surgery to their teen daughters. 20% of Korean men also experience plastic surgery. But here's the twist. Today, it looks like every person is getting it, even though before, in Asia, there were Confucian values. People believed that you had to keep your body as natural as possible. And that was the sign of wealth. The entertainers and the prostitutes, they were the only ones who were doing heavy makeup. And look how tables have turned. I wonder, does capitalism have something to do with this? Oh, I like this one. Have you ever considered getting a plastic surgery yourself? Yes. When I was between probably 14 to 20, I was convinced that once I'm older, I'm gonna do massive boobs. That was low-key my dream. But then I grew up and I kinda started liking having small boobs. Thank God. Do you judge women who get plastic surgeries? No, we do not judge. Guys, the reason why I'm telling those stories to you is because I want you to realistically understand the risks of doing those things. Because when you're looking at Instagram and when you're talking to so many doctors, you actually don't understand how many things are happening. And because of that, a lot of people simply do not research. As an example, there is such a thing in plastic surgeries, such as shadow doctors. For example, you sign up to a plastic surgeon, then they put you in your sleep, and then an intern comes and does a surgery. Yeah, it's actually crazy. So I want to encourage you to actually do research and wait some time. Because as I told you in the previous answer, I was convinced that I want to do a plastic surgery. But you actually have to give yourself some time and see if you grow out of it. Plastic surgery, rebranding itself as self-empowerment and feminism, is actually the biggest scam. My mom is around 6 years old and she's never gotten any plastic surgery or fillers. And when I was younger, I constantly asked her, "Mom, you are so rich. Don't you want to do something to look younger, fresher?" To which my mom would always respond, "Albina, it's such a risk to lay under the knife even when you desperately need a surgery for health reasons. You have to be an idiot to take this risk when you don't really need the surgery." And listen, I'm not gonna lie and tell you that I was never influenced. When I was 18 and I left my home country, the first thing I've done was, guess what it was? Lip fillers. I thought I'm being so sneaky, but yet, the first thing I've done was post a picture on Instagram. I thought my parents are not gonna notice the fact that my lips are like 4 times bigger now. And my dad called me and he was so upset with me. He told me, "God has created such a perfect creature. Do you think you know better than God?" I was like, okay, that's so dramatic. But here's the reality. The more I grow up, the more I understand that I am the face of the people who loved each other and me before me. When I look at the mirror, when my parents are gone, I still want to see them in me. And here's the question. When you look at the mirror, do you see yourself or the version which the world has sold you? like, subscribe, and as always, do whatever you want with this information.